And so yeah, about 3 years ago, I was just kind of piecing together "Bad Bitch," and I'll kind of tell you about that song, just because that song was kind of different than any other song. It wasn't written at once. Like, I didn't sit down and like, okay, let me write a song about a bad bitch, or blah blah blah. Most of that was just 2 or 4 lines that I would take here and there. Like, basically, I mean, that was like 5 or 6 years maybe of writing. Like, I would like when I was delivering pizzas, I would sit there and just ride around, listen to music, and I'd write a couple lines down, in the back of my little receipts, and just throw in a box. And even like right now, I still have them, and it's a whole box full of just receipts. And some of them, I mean, and it's hard to write. It's hard to even read that stuff, and a lot of it was junk. But like I said, for this song, I was kind of piecing together, taking my best rhymes, and back then, when it came out, I thought it was pretty good. And I mean, now I can't stand it. Last week, that song randomly came up on my iPod, and I could not hit skip fast enough. I mean, I damn near jumped out the window. Yeah, so I mean, I don't like that now. But I mean, there are some good rhymes in there, and the average listener probably can't even tell that it was just random lines, like that's why I'm talking about smoking weed and girls and women and bitches and money, just whatever. But like my buddy said, that was my first one. I didn't know what to expect, and I just went in there and got my feet wet, and got started. And I mean, it's like I said, it hasn't stopped since then. It's just kept growing more and more. And then also a little bit, I was just reflecting on this, kind of one way, or a couple ways maybe, on how I even got started. And basically, I just, like I said, I kind of just write, a couple lines here and there, just kind of for like a hobby, just something to do, I guess, while I was working, driving around, whatever. And I just wanted to make a CD, like I had some beats, I was like, yeah, let me just like try and put together 10 songs, make a CD, just to do it, and see the process, and everything. And like I said, I mean, it's just growing out of there. And then also one other reason why I think I got into rap, so I just turned 35, I was 32 when I started, and I think it was kind of like the mumble rappers, like the stuff I was hearing on the radio, and a couple local guys like just online or whatever, like, this stuff sucks, like, like I've got to be able to do better than that, right? So I think that's kind of one way I got into this. But yeah, like I said, man, it's been a crazy ride. Oh, and one other thing, a couple more things here, I'll finish out on this bad bitch. I know when I was putting this together, and I had studio time booked one night, and I'm sitting at home, a couple hours or hour before we're going to the studio, and I had everything, pretty much pieced. There was one line, I wasn't quite sure about, so I was like, hey, I don't want to do that one. Anyway, I had to go pick up Moscato, and then we were gonna go to Locash's studio. I was going to do a song, and then he was going to do a song after me. And I remember driving to get Moscato, and I'm literally like 3 blocks away. And, I was trying to think of that last line I could use. And so I literally thought of it, and I had to pull over and grab my pen, and I started writing. And the last line I wrote to that bad bitch was, you ain't had pussy since pussy had you. And I mean, still, like, that's a great line. And so like I said, I mean, even in the bad bitch, a lot of people didn't care for the chorus. It kind of sounds like a chipmunk, all screwed up. And I'll admit that wasn't my idea, but I did sign off on it. We were just kind of experimenting. It was my first song, so I mean, it is what it is. It's all right. Some people like it, some people don't. And I mean, even like the second or third verse, like I'm off the beat. I mean, it's like I said, it's horrible. I don't know. Maybe the average listener won't notice, but I mean, yeah, like for me, like there was lots of things I would have revised or redid differently. But yeah, and I will end on this. Another thing I've always kind of been keeping in the back of my mind is mastery takes 10 years to master anything, you know, whatever it is. And so I've always had that in the back of my mind, you know, like I want to be able to master this one day, and I know I'm not there yet, but you know, I'm 3 years in, so you know, I'm 30% of the way there. So, you know, another 7 more years, and hopefully I can get this shit mastered. So, well, yeah, thanks for all the support, you guys, and don't worry, man. I'm just getting started, man. There's plenty more to come.